What's up, world? This is Sam the Dingus here to teach you all about Fijis. Now, I know parenting is a big responsibility and you have to be sure you take that with you into this. But with everything I share with you today, you'll be able to raise your own Fiij families, have them happy, nourished, and growing as they should be. So the first thing you want to consider when buying a Fiij, or a storking one, as it were, is what kind of Fiij you want. If you ask me, for a starter, you can't go wrong with the typical Fiij. 1.5 liters, rectangular shape. It's impeccable, very durable. These things can go through a lot before they break. Trust me on that. But there are many different variations as well. We got baby Fiij, very smallest. Be gentle. Big fan personally, but it doesn't hold much, so it's mostly just something you set down in a place where you might need it in a pinch. And you got a nice and portable, but not super great. We got the macro Fiijs, as I call them. You'd think that these ones would be the macro Fiijs, but these are just regular, so these also aren't mini either, so I like to call them macros. And we even have a variation that's kind of both of them, the safari Fiij with the drip tip. It's a very rare Fiij. Don't miss that opportunity when you see it. So I recommend you get you every kind of Fiij you'd ever need, but there are a few things you should know when it comes to taking care of a Fiij. And it can be very dangerous if you don't do it right. Dangerous for you and the bottle. Now, it's a little known fact, but Fiijs of all sizes need to be breastfed throughout their entire life, at least once daily. Even if you got a full-size Fiij or a Fiij gallon exists somewhere, hit me up, Fiji Incorporated. You got to make sure they stay nourished, and so even though they bite, you got to keep feeding them because they need that nourishment to survive, and they're what keeps you nourished and surviving as well. So it's exactly the kind of circle you want in your life. You have to make sure, if you're not ready yet, separate male from female Fiijs. Now, it's impossible to tell the difference, so it actually makes it very difficult until you get to know them better. So I recommend you spend time with each Fiij at a time before you put them together, or else you're going to end up with these. And that's a lot, so proceed with caution. Life will find a way. Here are a few things that will ruin your Fiij bottle. Running over it with a car, hitting it with sharp or blunt objects, leaving it at your ex Sarah's house, or otherwise neglecting it at a local park, perhaps losing it forever, because most people don't see the value in a Fiij and will simply think it's trash, throwing it away. Also, don't fill your Fiij with hot sauce unless it's a designated hot sauce bottle. You'll never get that taste out. Fiij bottles are very, very durable, and you'll run into almost no problems with them, even if you're throwing them around on concrete or anything like that. However, over time, it is possible that they will start denting a bit, and as a result, small cracks can tear, or you know what I mean. Small cracks can form, making a hole where water can leak out, and at that point, it's time to retire your Fiji. We don't want to dishonor the Fiij name, so when it's time to go, you better just get rid of it or keep it somewhere sacred forever. Most of the time, it's actually the cap that goes wrong. Actually, statistically, that might not be true, but some of these caps have really been through it. And those are currently on their way to being compromised, but even with a crack all the way to the top, they're holding on for dear life. So, shout out to Fiji for breeding some fighters. Now, Fiijs are also known to accumulate some growths. They kind of operate like cavemen in some ways. So every once in a while, you want to shave your Fiijs down. Make sure there's no problems with it. Just like you would a horse or your own butt or any of that stuff. Grooming is essential for the aesthetics and function. And yes, you still have to do that with girl Fiijs. They all come out looking like Talia Rose. Or Adelia Rose, or I'm a retard. Now getting down to the real reals, you need to brush your Fiij's teeth. All jokes aside, this is a complete serious point, and I recommend you actually just give them a full bath while you're at it. I mean, water comes in and out, and that's all fine and dandy, but as it is with most bacterial situations, it's not what starts there, but it's what you leave behind. Drinking out of a Fiij bottle for months and months, you do accumulate some algae, bacterial growth that I can't lie about. As you have to clean everything, no matter how pure it is, or even these virgin lips must be taken care of. So that's actually the reason I started this video, is because magnets on here started tasting like you bit the end of a pencil. And as I look closer, there's a certain discoloration to it. And I'm not trying to get anybody else sick. Now, I have argued in the past that it would be stronger for your immune system to leave this kind of thing there, but I think it would just make me a juggernaut and everyone else would die from touching what I've touched. So as cool as the idea is, trying to be considerate to other humans, no one's ever drank from my Fiij bottle unless they were like smoking or some shit, but just in case, you know, be considerate of others, keep your Fiijs clean. I recommend you get the cap. You need to get the cap because like that's where it all like sits and stays. Can y'all see that shit? But also get the rim all around it, under these grooves here. And of course I'd flush it all out with hot water at least once in a while. Fiijs, as ironic as it is, are actually terrified of baths because they hate water. They only know about drinking water. They don't really fuck with that tap shit. So you might have to take a bath with them. And not no nonsense. You guys know the lyrics? SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants. If you don't sing to your Fiij, they might try to drown themselves. So like I said, under the grooves, around the top, and especially in the cap. I don't know if you remember what it looked like before. Maybe I'll put it in before and after. Maybe not. But that's basically something you need to do every couple of months if you want to make sure nobody dies when drinking your water. But other than that, that's pretty much all it takes to be a successful Fiij parent. It's a lot of responsibility and a lot of hard work, I'll admit, but you know, it's worth it to be alive yourself. Because without water, where would we be? There's no greater invention than the water bottle, my friends. So, take good care of your babies. Don't forget to breastfeed. I'll see you in the next video.